Bard's tale begins near White Orchard, with my dear friend Geralt of Rivia seeking his lover of yore, the sorceress Yennefer. She'd eluded him for years, but now seemed just a few steps ahead.
Welcome back, everybody. We're on another episode of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. This is the Enhanced Edition, meaning that it is a mod that we're playing. If you have not watched episode 1 of this series, I strongly encourage that you do. I fanboy a lot over this game, I know, but that's really the best way to describe me. I'm a Witcher 3 fanboy. Oh god, I hate using that word, but just... yeah, okay, anyways. Let's get on with the game here. I'm going to eat some bread because my health is not exactly full. I knew that from last time, right? Let's take a look. Yeah, 6,000 max health with that 5709. And the thing is, if my health is not at maximum, then injuries don't really heal. So, need to keep that health high. Anyway, let's just keep on writing down. There may be like a little bit of a hiccup with the video recording once in a while, but that should only be during maybe like the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops of my videos. So hopefully it won't be that troublesome.
Help me! Help!
And that, my dear friends, is a griffin. Griffon. So, unfortunately, we don't get to fight this thing right now, but we will eventually. It's just a matter of time. For now, I think the griffin is actually smart enough to realize that, or maybe it's just hungry enough to just want to eat the horse, but maybe it's just smart enough to understand that it shouldn't be taking on two fully geared witchers.
Has it gone?
Yeah. Come out.
Gods, that was close. I was sure I'd end up like my mare.
Provided you got lucky.
Your horse died quickly, but griffins like to toy with their prey. Eat it, alive, piece by piece.
Oh. You'd like a reward, I suppose.
So there are actually benefits to doing either of these options. So obviously, if you say we could use a few crowns, he'll give you, I think it's between 25 and 50 crowns. I could be wrong, I don't remember. I rarely ever choose this option, simply because the you don't owe us a thing option is actually a bit more profitable in the long run. So we're gonna do that one.
You don't owe us anything. You were in need. We helped.
And they call witches heartless. Say they won't lift a finger without pay.
They also say mice are born of rotting straw. Back to the trail.
Like I said, leads to the main road and ends there, muddled.
You seek someone?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a woman. Medium height, long black hair. Seen anyone like that?
No. But there's an inn here in White Orchard. Sole one around. Gets its share of travelers. Perhaps you'll learn something there. Besides, the innkeep's my cousin. Tell her Bram sent you. She'll treat you like family.
Not a bad idea. Especially since that wound needs cleaning.
Ah, beast barely grazed me. But sure, could use a good rye. Nice and cool, you know, straight from a cellar.
Let's go.
Sounds great. Let's be off then. I believe during my last episode when I was testing out like all the different signs and stuff, so like these signs here, I said that when you have Gwen active, you don't regenerate Vigor. I believe I was wrong, but it certainly was that case back in like a earlier version of this mod. But now it seems like when I do cast Gwen, the Vigor still regenerates, but it regenerates very slowly. Let me see if that is still true. Let's bring that up here. How do I bring the, there we go. Yeah, you see the red bar at the, that used to be the adrenaline bar, the red bar at the most top left there. That still regenerates pretty well, actually. Let me take a look at something here. I just want to see like the specific stats of how Vigor regenerates if I have Quen active. So if I come back down here, I get 0.05 per second, which means I will regenerate 1 full Vigor in 20 seconds if I have Quen active. Now, what happens if I remove it here? Let's go ahead and remove that. There you go. You don't jump to remove it, by the way. It just so happens that the key for, or the shortcut for Quen is also the jump button. So, so if I remove it, the regeneration rate becomes, that's not the right one. There it is, 0.1. So it halves your Vigor regen when you have Quen. I think that's a lot more balanced because I think Quen was just really underpowered back when it was like you just don't regenerate at all. Now at least you get something. Every 20 seconds I can cast a sign if I have Quen on, which is actually pretty good. Like, I think my opinions about Quen just shot way up because of that. Let's go ahead and loot all these alchemy ingredients here because, man, are we ever going to need them? Haven't explored a lot of crafting just yet, but we will. It's a necessity in this game. It's not something you can pass by. I mean, I suppose you could, but why would you? Okay. That's like, I don't know.
So, a griffin this close to
Never
the
mind.
village. Strange.
My thoughts exactly. In a forest to the mountains, sure, but here? Near the main road.
Maybe it's the war. Corpses everywhere, the stench of blood, burnt flesh. Drives monsters crazy sometimes.
Men, too. We need to watch ourselves in White Orchard. And we should leave as soon as we learn anything.
Mm-hmm.
Hey there.
You see that on the side of the road there? What kind of a sad excuse of a scarecrow is that? It's a torn up rag on a stick with a bucket. I can only imagine it's a scarecrow. If it's not, then, like, you know, I stand corrected, but...
Don't you look at me.
I didn't look at you, kid. Can't even see you down there. Man, I tell you, the children in this game, they are bratty. All brats. The ambient conversations and dialogue in this game are fantastic. Sometimes I could just like walk through a town just to listen to some of the civilian conversations, but I won't do that. Maybe I will eventually. I mean, this is supposed to be a relatively immersive playthrough, so once in a while I might just like stop by the side of the road, just listen to some of the villagers talk to each other.
What did the folk do?
Quite fun.
They could have sewed his head back on. Word is, they laid his...
And by the way, this game is a lot better played if you have headphones, because you'll be able to hear like which direction the sound. Like if you have a good stereo speakers, it works too. But with headphones, you're really able to discern like the distant voices that you won't be otherwise able to hear on like a stereo speaker with a lot of bass. Or anything like that, because sometimes there'll be conversations like in the background that you won't be able to hear properly with speakers, but with headphones you can hear them really well, especially with noise cancelling ones, which is what I'm playing my game with right now.
My arse it is.
Yeah, so these dudes are talking about the Temerian Lily's shield and the tavern. Because Nilfgaard has actually attacked this place, White Orchard, and took it over from Temeria. And so technically, this village belongs to Nilfgaard, which is like the southern country, I guess, who's invading the north, basically.
I'll not drink with Weaverlaw's freaks.
They're complaining that this tavern is still showing Temerian colors.
Beg your pardon for those thugs.
No need. We're used to it.
Folk are jumpy around here. Armies just passed through. Now a griffin's prowling about.
Already had the pleasure. Ran into your kinsman, Bram.
Bram? How is he?
Alive. Sends his regards.
Master Witchers. Food and drink on the house. What can I get you?
Alright, so as a quest reward for helping out Bram, we get 4 roasted chicken legs. So yeah, we don't get the crowns. I don't think it was 50 because I don't think it was that many crowns. If you actually say like, you know, we could use some crowns from that dude that we rescued. But it feels better to not ask for anything, and plus we get some roasted chicken legs from this lady, so you know, it's all good. So pretty busy place you got here.
Pretty busy place you got.
Nations on the move. Some search for kin, others just want to get out of the way of the armies. They all need food, drink, and a night's rest in warmth.
So, war's been good for your trade?
Aye, so far. But it'd be best to know peace again. Times like these, you never know what tomorrow will bring.
Fair enough, and I feel like many players would choose to ask if there's a contract on the Griffin, but correct me if I'm wrong. If you don't select this option, you actually get a different piece of dialogue from her, so I don't think many players have seen that, so I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to go right to looking for a woman.
Looking for a woman. Raven-haired, violet eyes, dresses in black and white. Riding in from Willoughby. And, strange as it sounds, lilac and gooseberries might have smelled that.
I've not seen nor smelt such a lady. Believe I'd remember.
Yeah, especially hard to forget this one.
Plenty of travellers about, though. Folk from all over. Might be worth your while to ask after her.
Good point, and actually, let me see what you got.
Show me what you got behind the counter.
Okay, so how much money do we have? 250 crowns, not a lot to work with, but it will have to do for now. I got this bounty hunter's gambeson earlier when I killed a bunch of drowners and looted the chest. Sells for nothing to her. So at the very bottom here, there you see the 6 with the little weight. That's how much it weighs. 72% is its current, basically how much it has been worn. So right now it's missing 28% of its durability, I guess is a good way to do it. But it's not really durability. It's like, it's just how much more or less effective it is than if it were at like 100%. I don't know. So at the top there you see minus 30 on the armor, and the minus 226 is how much worse it is in terms of armor than my current equipment. I can press L2 here, which is the guard button or the Witcher Sense button, to bring up a really detailed comparison with what I'm wearing. So right now, obviously, like I want to keep my full medium set of armor, because if I actually replace one piece with a light armor, I will lose that set bonus at the very bottom there, saying wearing a full set of medium armor increases all status effect resistances by 15%, which is, you know, not great, but it's there, right? So there's no need to put this on, especially when its stats are not even like that much better. In fact, it's probably not even better. And at the bottom there, next to the 72%, we got 0, which is how much it sells for. The 30 inside the bracket is how much it's worth, and the colon 0% means that you can sell it for 0% of what it's worth, which is, you know, 0. If I can sell it for 15, then it would say 30 colon 50%, you know, because 15 is 50% of 30, and the little crowns icon. So, which basically means that I can't really sell it to her, otherwise I'm not getting anything out of it. So we got our potions and stuff here. We got our food and drink. Woven Hour is where you start off every single playthrough with. It does absolutely nothing, as its description suggests. And we got some water, we got some chicken legs from this woman here, and some raw meat that I think I looted from a wolf. This is Yennefer's Crystal Skull. We got some crowns here. It says it weighs 0, but the game only calculates weight by, like, I believe it's the lowest number it will show is 0.1. So if an item weighs less than 0.1, it won't actually show it. In this case, 1 crown weighs 0.01. That's why 250 of them will weigh 2.5. That's basically it. And the funniest thing is I can actually sell crowns to her for 0 crowns per crown, which just makes no sense, but whatever. That's the end of the first letter. And here we have our crafting materials. As you can see, let's sort these by weight here. As you can see, some of these can actually weigh quite a bit. So these actually weigh 0.1 each, which is like, ouch. Same thing as this and this. Actually, most of these weigh 0.1 each. Oh man, I won't be able to carry much at all, which is going to be a shame. Not sure. Maybe at some point during this playthrough I will just turn off carry weight, because I think even though it's immersive, I think it's not very constructive to actually showing off gameplay and story, because like nobody likes just like going back to their horse, stashing all their equipment, and then coming back and then once in a while just selling off everything in the horse. It just it might be interesting at first, but it very quickly loses its novelty. So eventually I might just turn that off, but for now we'll play with it, I guess, and when it gets annoying I'll just turn off carry weight, so we don't really have to worry about it. If you don't like it, tough, because I feel like it's not like the best mechanic. For now I'll keep it. So she's gonna sell some Gwent cards here. We're gonna buy Decoy, which is a really good card. We got Crinford Reavers, Dragon Hunter, which is decent, and a Photes card. So I'm going to go ahead and buy all of those. If you're not familiar with Gwent, well, you'll see it soon enough. And she's obviously selling all types of food and drink. And right now, so all we have really is the 1 bread I'm carrying, this 1 water, and the 4 chicken legs. So I'm going to go ahead and browse her food items and see what's cheap and if I can just buy some of that. Let's see here. Oh, damn. Poultry legs weigh a lot. Well, these plums are decent. They only cost 2 crowns each, so I'm going to buy all the plums here. And how much does water weigh? Water weighs... Oh my gosh, it weighs 1 each? Ooh, this is not going to be pleasant. Let's buy like 3 waters, and hopefully our weight can hold up here. And I think that's it. I really want to buy some of these like alchemy ingredients, but the weight thing is just, it's killing me. It's killing me. Okay, so thanks for everything.
Thanks for everything.
Master Witchers, would you be of a mind to kill the griffin? Beast's a scourge on our land. Only killed livestock at first, but it's got a taste for human flesh of late. We're afeard to set foot outdoors.
If someone will pay us, won't say no.
Yep. We're Witchers. We don't do anything for free. Except rescue
Help you
your
bandage
cousin.
that up.
Please, I'm not decrepit yet.
Then I'll ask about Yennefer.
Just remember, we'd rather not draw any attention.
Here,
Yes,
Blackman's
sir.
been out measuring the fields.
Let them measure. Better that than burning the harvest.
Drommel, you're dumber than a headless cockerel. Why are they marking out them lines, eh? Parcel out their patrimony. Give it to their own.
Yeah. I love cats in this game, by the way. They look so nice. Look at this cat. I mean, they are a little, like, mean. They always tend to hiss at Geralt when I walk close. Let's take a look here. Hey, cat.
I'm looking for someone.
Okay. I was going to talk to the cat.
We seek some peace and quiet.
Out of my face, freak. For your breath sours my beer.
Speaking of mean people, yeah, you're just a waste of words, man. But using Axie on him is going to draw some attention. I don't even need to talk to you then.
Waste of words. Don't have time for your kind.
Smart. Nor do we have time for yours.
Yep. Sorry. Don't want to really talk to you anymore.
Once there are 4 factions.
Let's go ahead and talk to these people.
What a waste of time. The Earth shall revolve around the sun before you comprehend these rules.
Yeah, about
Got a
that.
minute?
Why not? Aldert Geert, Assistant Professor in Contemporary History at Oxenfurt Academy.
Keep on teaching
Geralt of Rivia.
history and don't teach
Witcher
astronomy,
with
please.
tenure. I'm looking for a woman. Long hair, dressed in black and white. Seen anyone like that?
Of course not. Unlike the populace, I know the horsewoman of war is pure poppycock.
The horsewoman of war? What do you mean by that?
Horsewoman of war. What's that about?
Folk say an omen. A beautiful phantom rides the fields at night, looks as you described her. Armies follow her, and all who cross her path meet with misfortune.
I can vouch for the last bit. Know where they saw her?
No, facts interest me, not fairy tales.
Alright, so why are you here then?
Not a place I'd ever expect to find a scholar. Take it you're fleeing the war?
Quite the opposite. Chasing it. I'm headed for the front.
Tired of life?
I seek knowledge, which I value more than life itself. I've a thirst no dusty old tomes can quench. I wish to see the Nilfgaardian invasion with my own eyes, understand it, and record it all in my chronicle, my magnum opus.
Magnum opus. Okay, so I think you should write about the war and what it's really like, and not about what you think it's like.
Interesting. We need somebody to describe war, what it's really like. Not colorful banners and generals making moving speeches, but rape, violence, and thoughtless cruelty.
Ah, I see you lack the polish of the Academy. Rape and cruelty are details of no import to the war's course. Trinkets on the garment of conflict, one might say.
Tell that to the people whose houses burned down.
Yeah, basically what he's saying is he's not trying to write history, he's trying to create a rhetoric. Yeah, I gotcha.
War reached Novigrad yet?
Nope, but it's only a matter of time. Nilfgaard on one bank, Redania on the other. Drooling over the city like dogs over a juicy bone.
Many a ruler's choked on that bone.
True. We value our liberty in Novigrad, and we know how to fight for it.
The scholars especially.
The sword is not the only weapon. Do not forget, architects from our academy designed the city walls. Walls no war machine has ever crumbled.
Sounds good, but I gotta get going, my man.
Gotta go. So long.
A moment, Witcher. You strike me as a man of the world. Are you familiar with Gwent?
No, and I don't have time to learn.
But the rules are quite simple. Come, let's play.
Wow, okay, yeah, I love me some Gwent, let's do it.
Why not?
Splendid! Here's how it's done.
I think I'm gonna school you. Okay, just a little bit of trivia about me. I actually played the multiplayer Gwent for a little bit of time. Back when it was still in the beta. Once it launched, it was called Homecoming. It just doesn't feel like Gwent anymore, you know what I mean? Like, to those of you who have actually played the multiplayer Gwent, hosted by, well, published by CD Projekt Red, it's on their launcher, GOG. It was a really good game back when it was in its beta stage. It felt very much like the Gwent I'm playing right now here in The Witcher 3, and not like some kind of weird, like, Hearthstone. Okay, I don't want to bring up Hearthstone, but like it's just like modern, full of eye candy kind of thing. It was very humble, and I really liked the way it played back then, and it stayed true to its roots. But once, I think it was last year in October or September, at some point, it had this like overhaul, like this revamp called Homecoming, and that's when the official game Gwent released. I played it for a while then, and it just, I don't know, lost a lot of its magical feelings. So I'm just like, you know what? Like I don't really need to play them. I probably played the like original Gwent in its beta for 700 hours, a long time. I reached top 100 in it, and I was pretty decent, but they took that away, so whatever, man. I really wish they wouldn't have, but what can I do? Anyway, so I'm gonna take off all the weather cards in my deck because I don't like weather cards. I'm gonna change my leader to this one, Foltest Commander of the North. That changes his leader ability from play and fog card from your deck to clear the weather, and clearing the weather is amazing, which means we don't need this clear weather card either. And we need to put 2 more unit cards in my deck because my deck needs 22 of them, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add these 2 foot soldiers in. They are kind of terrible, not quite as terrible as the PFIs over here, but they're still pretty bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the game, and do you recall that on the last episode I mentioned that I do have a mod installed called Gwent++ that changes some of the effects and stats of some of the cards, actually most of the cards. So if you are familiar with Gwent in The Witcher 3, unless you've played it with the mod, most likely you'll not be familiar with the card effects in my version of the game. So I have Siege Tower in my hand, which actually summons these Kedweni experts, so I'm going to go ahead and mulligan my 2 experts away, and be left with a pretty decent hand. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just play this because I want to win round 1. The concept of Gwent is basically you're trying to win 2 rounds out of 3. And by winning is just having more points than your opponent when you end your turn. You can end your turn at any given time, so as long as you have more points than your opponent, you will win. But it's not really just about points, it's also a little bit about card advantage. So if you can manage to win while having the same amount of cards as your opponent, then obviously you've got an advantage. Or if you lose a round but your opponent is down a significant amount of card advantage, then you can call that round kind of a victory for you too. You lost the battle, but you're going to win the war, right? So we won the first round, and we're on even cards. So if you see on the left there next to my portrait, I got 9 cards, they've got 9 cards. It's looking pretty good for me, basically. So I'm going to go ahead and just try to play out this round, and if I can manage to win without it going into round 3, then I've already won 2 out of 3 rounds, which means I have won the game. If not, this exercise I'm doing here is called bleeding. We'll get to that a little bit later. It's kind of a semi-intermediate Gwent tactic. So I can do this. He's going to play Swears. We're pretty even in points, but playing Vest here should bump up my points by quite a bit. There's 36. He can't pass because the moment he passes, I win the game, right? Which means he is forced to play while I can pass whenever I want and go into the 3rd round, which gives me a significant advantage. So I'm going to play Decoy here just for some hand advantage. He's going to play Putcomer, an absolutely terrible card. I'm going to keep playing because I feel like I can just win without having a round 3, which is going to be good for me. Go ahead and put this guy down again. Emperor Brigade. Alright, so I've probably won this. I don't think his last card is worth like 20 points. So... Oh, well actually that gets pretty close. So I'm going to throw down my last card and see what he's got. Yeah, he's got nothing. So, game is mine, and the student has beat the master. Actually, I can win even harder by activating my ability. Brings it up from an 11-point gap to a 21-point gap. There you go. 1-2 out of 3 rounds, and that's it.
You've a knack for this game. If you ever find yourself in Oxenfurt and wish to play a true master, ask for Stepan. A simple innkeep by trade, but a true maestro when it comes to Gwent.
I'll remember that. Thanks.
I gotta say, even though I've played hundreds of hours of multiplayer Gwent in its beta form, I still absolutely love the Gwent from The Witcher 3. What can I say? It feels really humble, and it feels like a really, really well thought out card game for a single player game. Love everything. I just love everything about the game. Yeah. So we get a new card, Zoltan Chivet, from winning against this guy. I'll put it into my deck a bit later. For now, let's just keep on talking to people. We got our Gaunter O Dimm sitting at the desk here.
Looking for a woman.
Like everyone.
Not like everyone. And not just any woman. Mine smells of lilac and gooseberries, dresses in black and white.
2 schnapsies. It'll lift your spirits.
Alright. Definitely gonna have a drink because they are free, and I love free stuff.
Fine, I'll have a drink. Can we cut to the chase?
Sorry about that, that was my chair.
Or not?
Yennefer of Vengerberg.
Never mentioned her name.
Yet you described her perfectly. And once I hear something, I never forget. Can't help it.
Alright, so by accepting the drinks, we get Nilfgaardian Lemon. Yeah, it's only worth 2 crowns, but hey, 2 crowns better than no crowns. So, how do you know Yen?
How do you know Yennefer?
What a question. Master Dandelion's ballads, of course. The only way a humble merchant might hope to rub up against greatness. Unless, that is, he's as lucky as I am.
And runs into a very patient witcher.
Into Geralt of Rivia himself. The Butcher of Blaviken.
If you're not familiar of how Geralt got the title the Butcher of Blaviken, I heavily recommend you read one of the short stories from the original author of The Witcher. He's called, oh god, his name escapes me for the time. What was his name? Andreas Sapkowski? Yeah, I think it was Sapkowski. He actually, yeah, he's the author of the Witcher books, which came way before the Witcher games, right? Way before CD Projekt Red even got their hands on the rights to create the Witcher games. And in his very first book, called The Last Wish, there was a short story. What was it called? Was it? Sorry, I'm just trying to remember things, because it's gonna bother me if I don't remember these things, because I'm thinking about it now. There was a story called. God damn it! It's not a question of price. It's okay. You know what? It's gonna bother me, but whatever. But there's a story where Geralt is in Blaviken and he killed a bunch of people, and not for good reason. Not for no good reason. By the way, he killed them for a very good reason. And ever since then, he's been dubbed with the title Butcher of Blaviken. And Dandelion the Bard, which is also one of Geralt's best friends, just kind of spread the story around like an asshole. So, good job, Dandelion. So, yeah, obviously, my friend Gaunter O Dimm, he's not really a friend, knows who Geralt is, so yeah, suspicious.
Recognize me from Master Dandelion's ballads too?
To your health.
Dodge the question. See what I mean by suspicious? Very, very suspicious.
What do you do? Who are you?
A mangy vagrant. Gaunter O Dimm, at your service.
Vagrant? That a profession now?
Once a merchant of mirrors. The madding crowd dubbed me Master Mirror, or the Man of Glass.
Any man whose initials spell out God, you gotta watch out for this guy, man.
You seen Yennefer?
Deepest apologies, but I must ask. Is this about love?
Of course it's about love. What do you think it's about?
Guessed it. It's love.
I knew it at once.
What do you know? Tell me.
Before you appeared, it never occurred to me that might have been Yennefer. Who would have thought?
Get to the point.
A Nilfgaardian scout from the local garrison saw her.
Where?
At their camp. She rode in there. Dark of night. Black and white. Gooseberries and... Yes, I know. Had a terse exchange with the garrison commander and raced off.
Where to?
I'm not omniscient. Ask at the garrison.
Thanks.
We men of the road must stick together. Perhaps one day I'll be in trouble and you'll be nearby to help.
Not omniscient, huh? Yeah, but very much omnipotent. Whoops, did I just spoil it? I didn't spoil anything. I guess omnipotence doesn't really preclude omniscience, but... Oh boy, Gaunter O Dimm. Love the character. He is clearly evil, but love him. So there's supposed to be a player stash here, but as you can see, it's there on the minimap, that green chest icon. But I believe the mod author for the mod I'm playing with right now removed it for whatever reason. Probably because it's kind of redundant now. Now that we can use a horse stash, but I don't know. He could have removed the icon too. Maybe that's harder than it actually sounds.
Done drinking?
Mm-hmm.
Then fuck off.
Don't want your kind here.
Oh, okay. I think you should back off, man. Nah, I'm not gonna go with that one. I'm gonna say 3 against 1. My, you're brave.
Better round up someone else to help. 3 of you don't stand a chance against me.
What? I could fuck you up by myself.
If I had a bag over my head and my hands tied behind... Actually, no, not even then.
Chet, Lesh, back off. I'll teach this vagrant a lesson. Man on freak.
Oh yeah? I'm gonna rip that mustache right off your face. Okay, we're gonna go into a nice little fist brawl with this guy. Look at him, he's clearly clueless. Okay, so let's just beat this guy up. Oh. There we go. Easy as cake. And now his two friends. Alright. Dodge some of that. It's actually very difficult to get any damage in without actually countering them and stunning them first. It's not impossible, but the easiest way to like win fistfights is just to counter their attacks and then just go in for your own. So do that. They're vulnerable for like a second or two, and then just go in for your own swings. Simple, simple. Alright, he should be dead at this from this. Yeah,
Nice
there you go.
meeting you.
And they dropped a note. Let's see. Note. Loke. Whatever you loot, hide it with the rest under the hut near the mill. We'll divvy it up later. Jack me. Seriously? Luke? Jack me? These are names? I'm sorry. I'm sorry anyone in real life actually named those, but that's not names I've ever seen. P.S. Watch out. Talk at the inn has that 2 witchers have rolled into town, and they mean business. If by business I mean buying a couple of like waters and plums from the tavern waitress or the tavern person, then yeah, I guess business. So this is Roach. I'm gonna quickly get on, and I'm gonna just walk my way to the campfire over here. I know there's a campfire here, or just a fireplace, and I wanna actually like check something. So it should be P to open up my stash. Yeah. So P when you're next to Roach to open up the stash, and you can actually like deposit stuff into your stash here. So I want to see if so I'm sorting by weight here. If I stash my alchemy ingredients into Roach here, let's just go ahead and stash a bunch of them in there. Man, something is really weighing me down. What is it? My money? I don't think so. Well, whatever. So I want to see if I can still use those to craft my items. It's also a good time to show off meditation. So let's go ahead and open up the menu here, and I'm going to go meditation. So meditation is obviously not the only purpose. The purpose of meditation is not just to like pass the time or to refill your potions anymore. In fact, there's no such thing as refilling potions anymore in this mod. What we have to do is when we meditate, we are given the opportunity to do alchemy, and we can add points onto our character skill. So let's go over alchemy first. So now we can obviously craft some of these standard alchemical ingredients. These are like the 6 elements, I think. And then we got some mutagen stuff here. Obviously, I don't have enough materials to craft these. So these are the bases, which are like the most standard items required to craft all kinds of oils, bombs, and potions. Obviously, these are like really good bases that we don't really need to use. We can loot actually like cheaper ones. We can buy cheaper ones at shops and stuff. So probably never going to craft these unless I just desperately need them. And these are bombs. Right now we have grape shot. I said that twice. Grape shot and samum, which are both decent bombs, but I think I explained in the first episode that I do like using them on monster nests instead of using them in combat. And we have 5 different oils here, each with their own use. Oils have been heavily revamped from the vanilla Witcher 3, so instead of having like all kinds of different enemy oils like Wraith oil, Draconid oil, Necrophage oil that raise your damage to those types of enemies by a certain percentage. Instead, now we have way more generic oils like Argentia oil, which gives you plus 90% damage to supernaturals if you're using a steel weapon. So it basically turns your steel weapon into a 90% efficient silver weapon. Not great, but you know, it's there if I ever need it for some reason. Brown oil is really good, gives me a 25% chance to cause bleeding and allows me to stack up to 2 stacks of bleeding on the target, which is really good because certain enemies like ghouls, they really love regenerating their health. Stacking bleeding on them actually stops them from regenerating, and it also does a damage over time effect on them, so that's really good. Focus blood gives me 30% chance to inflict injury and gives me plus 10 poise. So considering that I only have 9 poise right now, so it more than doubles my poise if I use this oil. Pretty legit, to be honest, but the chance to inflict injury, it's not like super good because you can actually force injuries by using the alternative strong attack. So if I hold block and I use the strong attack, I do this like 2-slash combo, and if both slashes connect, then it will have a 100% chance of inflicting injury. So that's, I think, way easier and way more efficient than actually using an oil to try to raise my injury chance. Poisonous oil, very similar to the brown oil here. Instead of inflicting bleed, it inflicts poison. Poison works pretty differently from vanilla. So in the vanilla Witcher 3, when you get poison, you just take damage over time. But in this version of the mod here that I'm playing, when Geralt gets poisoned, it actually raises his blood toxicity. So it's kind of like if you were to drink an extra potion or something like that. And if your blood toxicity goes above a certain threshold, then you'll start taking damage over time. So, but if you inflict poison on an enemy, then it's just a damage over time. So it's not that different from vanilla. And Veil Oil is your kind of it's like oil against specters and wraith kind of thing. I personally never used this yet because, again, I've only checked this mod out briefly, so just to take a look at what it's all about before I started doing this playthrough. I've never really gathered up all the materials needed to craft Veil Oil, so unfortunately I don't really know what it's all about, but apparently it's good against specters, I guess. And we have all sorts of different potions, which I won't go over. A lot of these are very similar to the potions that you already know if you've already played this game before. Not necessarily this mod. The different ones, I guess, let's just go over like the important ones. So Cat, we get plus 8% evasion speed. That's pretty good. We got Swallow, which is just plus 0.8% vitality regen. Very good for long and draw out fights. We got, let's see, Tawny Owl, which gives me plus 4 stamina regeneration. Really good for stamina intensive fights. And so on. I'm not going to go through all of them. So right now, it does seem like whatever alchemy ingredients I stashed into Roach's horse stash will be available for alchemy. So I'm very, very glad that that quality of life feature is there. Let me see here. Wait, is it? What did I even stash? Oh, wait a minute. Hydrogenum. I did stash these, right? Let's see. The berbercane fruit. Let's take a look. Just real quick. And let's go over to this. Yeah, it's all here. That's good. I'm very thankful about that. So right now I can't craft anything. I would really like to craft a couple of potions, especially Swallow. I only have one, but unfortunately I don't really have enough of a base. So potions require a base of alcohol, and I don't have the alcohol required to craft a Swallow right now. But Gaunter O Dimm did buy me one Nilfgaardian lemon, so I just need another one and I can craft a Swallow. Alright, so I didn't go over how alchemy works. I guess I'll just go over that very briefly because I know a lot of you might be super bored from my explanations, but I'm so sorry. It's just something I have to do, okay? Sorry. So with potion crafting and basically any kind of alchemy, we will need several main ingredients, some kind of an item to put the alchemy item into. So in the case of potions, it's going to be a glass bottle, and a base. So in the case of potions, it's going to be alcohols. For oils, it's going to be like some kind of animal fat or just fat in general. So Swallow in particular requires a source of ether, a source of rebus, and a source of vitriol, which we can get from our different alchemical ingredients. Every single alchemical ingredient will have a kind of a source attached to it. So in the case of Ghoul's Blood, it's going to be vitriol and negrito if we ever need negrito for anything. For Blowball, it's rebus. So, and obviously we already have everything for Swallow, but except for the base, so we can't craft it. Let's go on to Petrie's filter just as another example. We need ether, hydrogenum, which I don't have any of. That's why, well, I do have some, but not enough, right? So like this monster ear sample, I can use that as hydrogenum, but don't have enough of it for this particular potion. We need Quibbirth, vitriol, a bottle, and a base. So don't have any of that available. So I'm going to skip alchemy for now. Once I actually collect some base items, we will go back to crafting. It's going to be very, very, very important. And finally, let's go check out characters. Character progression is going to be very, very different from the Witcher 3 that you know and love. So the way it works in vanilla is you actually get experience for killing monsters and doing quests. and whenever you gain enough experience, you actually level up like a standard RPG. In this mod, however, because there is no such thing as level, there's no more leveling up or anything like that. In fact, all the quests you do no longer give experience. Instead, they will give you progression toward your general skills. So if you remember these general skills back here, I believe the sun and the stars is basically the same thing in this mod as it is in vanilla. So you can learn this with a stat point and assign it to a slot. But in this mod, instead, you will need to keep on completing quests and discovering different waypoints and just like different landmarks for that general progression to go up. Right now it's at 17%, so if I just like complete more quests and I discover more like fast travel locations and so on and so forth, this percentage will go up, and eventually I will have a general skill point. And instead of actually assigning these skills to slots, they will just be active permanently all the time, which I absolutely love, right? I don't want to like learn a skill and then have to assign it to a slot. I just want that skill to be there, which is the case for this mod. Instead, these slots, they will be used purely for mutagens, which we will look at later. So for now, at the very beginning of the game, we're given 1 point in every single one of our combat abilities. Excuse me. And so for fast attack, let's go over some of the skills. We got muscle memory, fast attack speed 2%, fast attack stamina cost reduction by 3% per level up to 5 levels, precise blows, all of these have 5 levels by the way. Precise blows, fast attack 3% higher chance to inflict bleeding, and a fast attack critical hit chance by 2%. This is actually pretty good. World, this is our alternative, it's not really, I'm calling it alternative light attack, but our alternative light attack is actually a kick, and whirl is really just the I guess enhanced light attack. I don't know, but yeah. So it consumes 10% less stamina per level, and crippling strikes 20% chance to cripple opponents and slow their movements by 10%. And a 10% higher chance to inflict injuries. Opponents are slow to a maximum value of 10% with increments of 2% per attack. Opponents recover after not taking damage for 2 seconds. Huh. That is very interesting. I think this was buffed from the last version of W3EE I was playing, so this is pretty good. But as good as some of these are, I'm going to have to go with attack speed. So I'm going to go ahead with muscle memory and get that 2% attack speed and 3% stamina cost reduction. Same thing with heavy attack here. It's going to be very important for me. Defense, so it's defense, but really it's evasion, right? So we got heightened senses. I didn't go over the strong attack ones, but I think we'll go over those a little bit later. So let's see, defense, we got heightened senses, perfectly timed parries, reflect projectiles towards the attacker. Deflecting projectiles cost no stamina, and the chance of receiving injuries is 10% lower. Poise increased by 2. Oh man, this gives a lot of different stuff. I love this ability. Holy crap. Okay, let's just go over what we have down here. Increases maximum safe dodge angle to 96 degrees. Okay, increases speed of evasive actions by 3% and reduces graze damage received by 10%. Negates all stagger while dodging. Okay, so one of the dodging mechanics in this mod is that there is no longer an iframe on your dodges. So in Vanilla Witcher 3, when you dodge and when you dodge roll, it's a perfect iframe. As long as you use it in the correct window, you will dodge all damage. And obviously that's not very immersive. It's in some games, but you know, it's not very challenging, just like rolling around all over the place. But in this mod, what happens is it's no longer an iframe. When you dodge, you have this like kind of safety dodge angle. And if you're dodging within that angle in the opposite direction of an attack that's coming towards you, then you will reduce damage by, I believe the base damage reduction is 40%. I could be wrong. But whatever that reduction is, it's called graze damage. And if you can actually dodge within that safe angle. So your initial safe dodge angle is 90 degrees, which is not much at all. If you think of a right angle in the opposite direction of an attack coming at you. I don't know if you can visualize that properly. But if you do that and you dodge right when the attack is coming, you reduce damage by 40%. I'm guessing what it is. And having an extra point into fleet-footed will reduce that damage by an additional 10% and raise your safe dodge angle by 6 degrees to 96 degrees, and a bunch of other stuff. This is actually a really good ability too. Let's go on to the next one, counterattack. After a successful counterattack, the next hit deals 2% more damage and has a 3% higher chance to critical hit. Okay. Empowered bashes. Bashes have a 6% base to knock an opponent down, varying based on their remaining health and stamina. Okay. Powered kick. Your kick deals 15 stamina damage to the opponent and impedes stamina regeneration for 2 seconds. Okay. Empowered slashes. Your sword slash has an additional 2% chance to apply 1 stack of bleeding. Oh, interesting. Okay, so when I was talking about the alternative attacks earlier, what I really meant is empowered attacks. So you hold your block button and then you press light or heavy attack to do like a kick or an empowered slash. I'm pretty sure that's what this is referring to. I could be wrong. It could be... Oh, you know what this is referring to? The counterattack options. So your counterattack can either be a counter slash, a counter kick, or a counter bash. Right now I have everything set to the slash except for heavy human attacks, which I think I set to bash. I think I'll develop this one a bit later. I don't really need this one for now. Deadly Precision reduces stamina cost of defensive actions by 3%. Okay, the damage inflicted by unparryable attacks while countering is reduced by 15%. Okay. The damage inflicted by huge monster attacks while countering is also reduced by 10%. Okay, so at the end, towards the end of last episode, I was talking about how if you parry an attack, a small percentage of that damage still comes through to you, even if you parry it correctly. This is exactly what Deadly Precision is meant to kind of augment. So you take a bit less damage if you get hit by an attack that's like coming through as damage. So okay, not bad, but I'm really loving this fleet-footed ability. So 6 degrees more dodge angle, 3% more evasion speed, and 10% less graze damage, and no more staggering while dodging. So that's really good. We've got ranged attacks here. Crossbows are no longer negligible in terms of damage. They actually do quite significant damage. So crossbows, very useful in this mod. I'm not going to go through all the other abilities right now. I might go through them a little bit later, because for now I know what I want, and it's going to be a crippling shot. Each range attack has an additional 4% chance to cause bleeding. Critical hits have 10% chance to stagger opponents. Beautiful. And as for battle trance, we got resolve, vigor loss upon taking damage reduced by 5%. Lowers attack and evasion speed loss incurred on low vitality by 5%. Okay. Undying, while below 50% health, each point of adrenaline increases vitality regeneration by 0.1. While below 25% health, each point of adrenaline prevents 0.4 points of damage from every single source. This is not bad, but it is quite situational. So let's see what else we have. Razor Focus slows adrenaline point loss. Slows adrenaline point loss by 10%. Okay. Increases attack speed by 0.4 for each point of vigor. Oh, this is good. So if I have maximum vigor, I get 0.4% per level of Razor Focus per vigor. Interesting. Flood of Anger, each adrenaline increases adrenaline generation speed by 5%. Each point of adrenaline increases sign intensity by 0.15%. Oh, that's good. So if I'm at 100% adrenaline, I actually have 15% more sign intensity. I think this is the way to go. Let me just take a look here. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Flood of Anger, because I feel like I'm gonna head towards the kind of sign intensity path as opposed to like your straight up attacking path, because I think signs are incredibly powerful. So let's, oh my god, you guys, I'm talking so much, but I need to explain some of this stuff. Some of it for myself, just for me to remember how the mechanics work, and and part of the reason is to provide those of you who are like genuinely curious about the game mechanics of this mod, and wishes for an explanation from me. So fast attack, we will gain fast attack progression, as you can see at the top there, 19%. We will gain this by simply fast attacking. Attacking actual enemies while in combat raises this. So all of these, basically, all of these abilities, these combat abilities, will go up 75% faster if we are in combat. So keep in mind of that. So basically, you can't be like, oh, I'm not in combat, let's just swing in midair and gain progression. You can do that, but it's like 3 times slower. Not 3 times slower, but like a lot slower than just like doing these naturally in combat. Strong attack, self-explanatory. It's you got a strong attack to gain these points. We got defense, which is basically dodging and parrying and countering. So this is quite nice. Ranged combat is whenever we shoot our crossbow, which we don't have yet, but we will very soon. And battle trance is, I believe this one is how much you generate adrenaline and vigor. So this inherently progresses really slow, but the abilities are also very good. So we don't have any sign points yet, so we'll go over these a bit later. But we do have 1 point each in our alchemy points. So we got brewing. Okay, let's see. Heightened tolerance. Each potion decreases potion overdose damage by 6%. Okay. Potion durations are increased by 10%. I'm pretty sure I don't even need to look at the other two. I definitely want this, but I'll go over the other two anyway. Each potion imbibed reduces toxicity damage taken by 2 points, which is, in my opinion, quite useless in the early game, because if you even try to drink more than 1 potion, unless one of those potions is swallow, you will be taking massive damage from toxicity. If one of those potions is swallow, then your swallow recovery will basically counter out your toxicity damage, and all you'll get is the other potion you drink. So you might as well just not even drink the swallow, right? So this is saying like the more potions you drink, the less damage you take from toxicity, but you're already taking a ton of damage from toxicity, so I don't really see what the point is. For early game. For late game, it could be totally different. Side effects, you have 10% chance of obtaining regular mutagens as a byproduct of alchemy. So this one actually gives you some stuff 10% of the time whenever you create a alchemical item. Sounds interesting, but no, we're going to go with 10% more potion duration. And let's see, oils. Applied blade oils are 6% more powerful. That's really good. Your applied blade oils lose 20% less potency as they run out. Right, so the more oils run out, the less effective they become. So because like the oils are kind of dripping off of your blade, right? You don't have as much anymore on the blade. So yeah, okay. Fixative applied blade oils last 20% longer. Meh. Emulsion, an additional oil can be applied to your blade at any one time. Emulsion reduces the purity of your oils, reducing their potency to 55%. So this one, I'm guessing, like, obviously you need a lot of points invested into this before it actually gets good. So I'm not going to bother with this one. I'm going to go with potency because I love me some stronger oils. Bomb creation. Okay, so steady aim time slow while aiming bombs is increased to 50%. Okay, not very useful. I use auto aim for all my bombs anyway. Pyrotechnics, all bombs, even those that usually do not inflict damage, now deal 100% damage, plus 100 damage in addition to their normal effects. Okay. Not really sure how useful this would be because like even the most standard grape shot bomb does like 2500 damage, so 100 is barely anything. Riving blasts. The first time an enemy is hit by a damaging bomb, the enemy loses 6% resistance to the type of damage the bomb dealt. Okay. Cluster bombs. Bombs detonate into a number of explosive fragments on impact, each doing 20% of the damage of the original bomb. 20%. Oh, wait a minute. This is very different from what it was before. Oh, this is interesting. Because what it did before was that it weakened your bombs, and then it kind of fragmented outwards. But now it doesn't say it's weakening them. All it's saying that it's fragmenting, and then the fragments do 20% of the original damage. That's actually really good. Whoa, I'm going to go with cluster bombs for this one. Okay, so it's always... Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so this is actually kind of ambiguous. I've already spent my points, so whatever. I'm not sure if it's saying that the original bomb is also doing 20%. So you're only getting 2 fragments for 20% each. Or is it saying like the original bomb does all the damage and then you get like 1 more or 2 more fragments that do 20% each? I don't know, I guess we'll have to test it. Okay, mutation, acquired tolerance, increases maximum toxicity by 10, adrenaline by 5, grants 10% chance to keep archetype mutagens when brewing decoctions. Okay, we're not even close to brewing decoctions yet. Increases the potency of active mutagens by 10%. Okay, and adaptation extends the effective duration of all mutagen decoctions by 20% and lowers the toxicity. So I don't have any decoctions right now, and I don't think I'm going to have them anytime soon. So I'm going to go with the only one that's beneficial to me right now, which is just increases maximum toxicity by 10 and adrenaline by 5. Okay, Trial of the Grasses. Geralt's speed increases exponentially up to a maximum of 3% based on current toxicity percentage. Poise value increases exponentially with toxicity up to 10 and reduces the maximum impact of toxicity on Vigor regeneration by 5%. I suppose that's another mechanic. Like the higher your toxicity goes, the lower your Vigor regeneration will become. Okay. Fast metabolism. Clear toxicity is gained back as adrenaline while in combat. And toxicity is cleared 5% faster when it exceeds a safe threshold. Okay. Killing spree. Killing an enemy in melee restores up to 5% stamina and vigor based on current toxicity percentage. Oh god, that is pretty awful. You're going to need a lot of points on this to be good. I think I'm just going to go with fast metabolism. That gives me some adrenaline in combat. I don't think I actually explained adrenaline yet. It's kind of a buff you get during combat. Every time you hit an enemy or counter an enemy, your adrenaline will go up. It's kind of like a buff. And once it goes up high enough, your stamina, vigor, and health regen rates will go up, as well as your damage. So I think at 100% adrenaline, you actually get 20% more damage, and you get like 15% more regeneration, I think, something like that. Obviously, you can go over 100% because we have the acquired tolerance here. That's raising our adrenaline by an additional 5 per level. So I'm guessing at level 5 is 25% more, which means you can go up to 125%. Yeah, okay. I think, yeah, I'm going to go with fast metabolism. I do like the concept of adrenaline, so anything to support it would be nice. And we have the general skills here. I'll look at those later because I think I've been rambling on for like 20 minutes. Oh my god, okay. I am just that passionate about this game. Anyway, so that's all done. We looked at crafting already, so let's get out of this menu. And it is freaking nighttime.
I knows what I knows.
Talking about it for so long that it's nighttime. Okay, so, oh, Roach, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Okay. Let's just talk to this guy again. This is the dude we rescued earlier from the Griffin, and I think we'll end up the episode.
We meet again.
Thank you for saving me. People say all kinds of things about witches, but I've always known yours to be an honorable guild.
So you managed to salvage some goods?
Yes, but I await the repair of my wagon. As time passes, my losses grow. Do you need something? I'll let it go half free.
Okay, so what do you got?
Let me have a look at your stock.
Alright, so we got Temerian set. 300, 150. Are you kidding me? This is half free. I'm nowhere near being able to afford that. So we got horse blinders, plus 50, horse's fear level. Okay, saddled. 20% attack power while on horseback. Oh, that's new. 65 stamina. And saddlebags plus 150 maximum carry weight. Damn. I am definitely getting this. Oh my god, it's only 30 crowns. Gimme. Wait, does Roach already have a saddle? Okay, whatever. It's a good investment, I think. And water, I don't have the carry weight for that, so but I will buy some bottles. Let's see, how much do these weigh? Oh my god, 0.3 each? Why is everything so damn heavy? Okay, so I can't really buy too much more. I think I'm gonna not worry about the pelts and stuff, so let's get out of here.
Take care.
Okay.
Who knows what tomorrow will
So,
bring.
let's go into inventory here. Let's see if those saddlebags... Ah, there we go. Perfect. plus 150 maximum inventory weight for Roach. Yes! Come here, Roach. Where are you? Where did Roach go? What the heck? Roach walked back to the stable. Okay. Good girl. Okay, so let's open that up and see if I can store some more stuff in here. I think all my alchemy ingredients can go in there because I'm never going to sell them, and we can craft from the horse, so it's very nice. In fact, Roach is going to be mainly just used to store my alchemical ingredients. These weigh a lot. Geralt's old back can't handle it. Oh my god, these chains is what's weighing me down. Look at these, 4 each. And 4 scraps. And anything else? No, I think I'll keep everything else on me. And I obviously need to sell this armor a little bit later. Okay. I would say, I have to say, this is a relatively boring episode, but we went over a lot of things, and that's a good foundation for future episodes, so I am quite happy about that. Anyways, let me see something here. I need to drop my music volume a little bit, maybe down to like 60 something, and same thing with effects volume, maybe down to 50%, because it's like super loud during combat, and also pretty quiet during times of no combat, so I want to find a balance for all of that. So, next time we come back, we are going to explore this little village here in White Orchard and see what we can find, and obviously gonna look for Yennefer at the Nilfgaardian outpost as our not so good buddy Gaunter O Dimm suggested. So thanks for watching this time. See you guys again. How do you turn this thing off? Oh, there we go.